Hello YouTube. Good morning. Friday, September 21st, 2012. I gotta make a couple of parts because you guys don't want to sit through a whole 30 minute video or something like that, maybe 25 to 30. The thing is, I have so much to say that it's hard for me to keep videos short. But I'm gonna break them down into parts. I'm gonna try to watch my clock here, and but to get the full message, you'll have to watch them all anyway. So I don't understand. I understand people want things quick and done and over with. I would like to think that maybe I could upload the whole video in one, and then you could just pause at each, like if you're tired, or maybe remember where you were and go back and finish it. But you know what, I'll just upload it in parts to make it easier. So the video today is to a friend, not really a friend, he's just a guy I know, and I came out and said things about him that weren't true. Donley Miller. I didn't even realize he made a response video to me at all. I know he sent me a message, and this before, I sent the apology video immediately the next day because I sat around feeling terrible about it. Because I'm depressed, I have anxiety, I have irrational fear disorder, and I don't like people telling me that to get over it and that I'm not being genuine. So I felt so bad about it. And then I watched this video last night. It made me feel 10 times worse, and it's got me really depressed today. And the only reason it does is because I feel terrible. I don't like doing that to people. That's not me. And I don't even know what made me do it. Where I came from, being so sheltered all these years, my perception on depression was you stayed in your house and you didn't go out much, and because the depression doesn't allow that. Then I realized, well, wait a minute, you're right, athletes and stuff are depressed. They just choose to try to combat it differently than I do. For me, I don't know. I think I've been depressed so long and just not really fully. Motivation has been very difficult for me, so it's hard, I've always been a big guy, and that's my fault, I suppose. But I was born big. I was 8 pounds 10 ounces, which they've been bigger, but that's pretty big. My mama said I was a biggin. So anyways, I gotta understand that forms of depression attack people differently, and for me it's attacking my energy level, it's attacking my body physically, as far as my knees, my back. I have massive headaches, I have severe neck pains. And that's from being sedative, because like I said, back to motivation, I don't have the motivation in years. I held jobs, and the jobs I held were pretty fast-paced restaurant type work, but the problem with that is I was mainly a dishwasher and the preparatory cook that, would chop the vegetables and make salads and things like that. So I was in my own little area, and then what ends up happening is they like my work. Because, when I worked, I liked to get in the zone. Now, I haven't had a job in 4 years. I can't work anymore, and I don't care what the doctors or the disability panel or anybody wants to say. I'm at a point now where it is just so hard for me to even stand up for 15 minutes without needing to sit down. My knees start hurting so bad. My back starts hurting so bad. I could never, and the type of work I do, the only work I know is restaurant work. I don't know anything else. Because what happened was when they moved me up to the cook's line. Well, that was a more active area. I was around more people, and at first it was okay. Now, the years I'm describing here was 2003 till I guess 2008. I worked in 4 different restaurants. I worked in 2 like fine dining establishments. Not really fine, but not fast food. It's just a step up from fast food. It's a place where you go in, you get a menu, you sit down, you have a waitress or a waiter cater to you. And then I worked in 2 fast food restaurants before my work days ended. And I tell you, I can't do that kind of work anymore, and that's the only thing I know, and that's the only thing I was ever good at. But again, what happened to me was they moved me up as I got better and did my work, and I was around more people, and I just couldn't hang it. I couldn't handle it. And then I worked at McDonald's. That was ridiculous. I worked there 6 months, and I tried so hard to make it work. I just couldn't stand being around the people. I did not associate. My thing was to go to work and do my job and go home. But people at McDonald's, you have to put on a smile. That's part of their code. You have to be upbeat and you have to be happy. That just was not me. So they got tired of me coming in and not associating. So whatever. And I tried to explain, and I got fired, and I won an unemployment case because I felt they fired me because my depression and anxiety was affecting my social ability. So I got unemployment for 2 years after that, and that was my final job. Before that, I worked at Subway, and Subway was great because it was just the shift that I worked was the late night shift, and the Subway I worked at wasn't terribly busy, so I was in the restaurant by myself. You know, I held it. It was easy. I would have one guy work with me. He was a teenager. He was a kid. He would come in. When he got out of school, at about, well, not directly right after school, but I worked from 7 p.m. till 12. This Subway was open till midnight, so till 12. So he would come in at 7. He'd work till 9. So he only worked 2 hours a night. Just a little part-time thing for him, just to make a little money, which he wasn't making much, but I mean, he worked on the weekends too, but he worked the day shift on the weekend, so he didn't work with me, and I didn't work weekends, so I worked Monday through Friday, so I guess he got more hours working on the weekend. But the point said, he was a 16-year-old kid, so he didn't really bother me or try to talk to me because we were way, like, this was back in 06, so I was 24 years old, he was 16, we didn't have nothing in common. We just communicated about work. I didn't feel any, you know, anxiety and angst around him. What got me in trouble at Subway, because they felt that I could have been more useful on their day shift, and day shift busier, more people, have to work with more people, you got managers in there. So again, that job got ruined all because I was comfortable with what I was doing, and they tried to move me to a shift, and I tried to say no, but they said, you know, they needed me because I was good at what I did. They had the camera system, so they watched. You know, even at night when it was busy after the kid left, let's say it was 10 o'clock and we got one last rush, I could knock a line of 10 people down like that. I was good. I did my job. But unfortunately, they didn't care. They say, you're doing so good, well, we can use you on the day shift. Oh, whatever, man. And that hurt. That hurt. So that job ended. And before that, you know, I worked in like a step above fast food. It was seafood work, seafood houses. I was a dishwasher and a preparatory cook. And then from 2002 to 2004, I worked at one. And then from early 2005 until, I don't know, the end of 06, I worked at another one. And then the Subway thing was 07, and the McDonald's thing was the first 6 months of 08. So the seafood house jobs, I was younger, and I was going through a roller coaster ride then of the depression. I would have more ups and downs. I would have my downs, but my ups would last longer. So it was different. But like I said, the first seafood house, when they tried to move me up on the cook's line, being around more people, that's when I experienced another down. I couldn't be, I liked being in my own area. So I went to another seafood house. Again, I started out just as a dishwasher, but hey, we think you can do more. Let's move you up. Let's put you around the waitresses. Because their prep section was located in the waitress section, where the waitresses do their, you know, preparatory work, have the glasses and, you know, the straws, spoons, forks, all that stuff, you know. Go work in the restaurant, you know what I mean. It was hard. A guy like me that very much anxiety, I have depression already, I'm trying to work here, make money, and now I'm next to all these beautiful women. Oh, please. You know how waitresses look? They look good. I couldn't handle that. So, again, this part's over. It's been a little bit past 10 minutes, I think. Catch me in the next part, and I'll continue this conversation.